Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Photography Beyond 70. I'm David, and I'm definitely beyond 70. I'm getting pretty close to 80 now. But I'm enjoying my professional photography career as much as I have ever done. Continuing to learn. The reason I actually started this was to go through my learning curve of changing from a Fuji system, and before that a Nikon system, to this Canon system, this R6 Mark II, and I love it. It's only limited by my lack of knowledge and learning about it. But anyway, I wanted to share something about a little piece of equipment that I used on that last event that I shared with you guys, the Music Maker's 30th anniversary. There came a point in the evening where I had to start using on-camera flash. I was getting everything I wanted from it, extremely happy, and the dadgum batteries ran out. This was a Godox flash that I'd never used before. It needs the 4 AA batteries. I got the kind that you can recharge. I thought that it would last at least a few hundred shots. It didn't. It expired. So I had to go into my bag and grab a Godox, another Godox, which has actually had a hot shoe that was made for Fuji, or it might have been the one made for Nikon, I don't know. But I put this little guy on the camera. It's the little X3 trigger from Godox. It's tiny, lightweight, and I can tell you after using it this weekend, it works. I put it on there. Luckily I had an assistant to hold the light for me, to bounce it off the ceiling, the walls, whatever. And a lot of people, I looked at this thing online, and a lot of people didn't like it. They said it was confusing and they preferred the other triggers. Personally, I don't. I didn't find it confusing, and I'm almost 78, so if I can if I can learn it, folks, anybody can. In fact, I found it even easier than I have the R1, I have the R2, or I guess it's the Pro 1 or 2 Godox triggers, and they're big, and I just found this a lot easier to use. I bought it by necessity because I needed a trigger for the Canon. So let's go over some of the specs. Again, I'm not just a big spec guy. I'm a guy that's going to tell you how I use it, what I think about it, and would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it. I'm going to use it this weekend for an event, another big musical event. It's called the Sleepy Fest, and it's presented by Sleepy Cat label. They're excellent. I recommend you check them out if you like good music. The great artists. The festival is an all-day concert by their different artists, and some artists that are invited in to play, and it's just wonderful. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you next week. This is totally different than the other event. This is all outdoors. The whole concert's outdoors, so there'll be some challenges as the light changes. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So let's get into a little bit about how this little unit right here, this Godox X3 trigger works, and I'll try to explain it a little bit to you, and maybe show you how simple it is. Okay, here's the little unit right here. You can see how small it is in relation to my hand or my fingers. On the bottom, we have a nice little USB port to charge the thing. It doesn't take that long to charge up, by the way, and I've never had it run out of power. Back here is a little button to release it from the hot shoe of the camera, and then the business side of it is right here. The top little, there's a button you can push it in, it'll turn off the beeps that it'll make, and then later on you can also use it to scroll with, so it has 2 functions. Of course, that bottom button is to test your flash with, and then this middle one is the way we turn it on, and it's also will bring up our menu after we have it turned on. So let's turn it on, hold it down. We can see now that the menu is on, and so let's go straight to the menu. also demonstrate how this turns the sound on and off. See there? It's on. It's off. So I'm going to move it to settings by pushing the settings button right here. And this gives us our different settings that we can use. Let me see if I can get it in close here and get it to focus in. Might be a little bit closer than, yes, we're going to stay right here. So this is our wireless. It will tell us what channel we want to be on, and I've got this set for channel 7, and the ID is 90. Now if you are hooking this up to work with your flashes or strobes, whatever, you got to make sure the strobe is set to channel 7 and the ID is 70, and that's pretty easy to do if you know your way around your flash at all. As far as sync goes, front curtain is the one I'll normally use if I want to do something fancy like wiggle the camera around with flash. What it'll do, it'll make those little streamers or circular light patterns on the shot, and I don't do that very often anymore. It was kind of a gimmick, but it's fun to do, and it's nice to know that you can do it. When it's set at the rear curtain, what happens is the flash doesn't go off till the end of your shutter timing. So, and that's why you get those little deals. Now this is, I got it set for one shot, and that's just where I keep it all the time. You can see I did that, I scrolled across. You can bring this back up without hitting the menu. I've got it set for legacy, hot shoe, and I don't have an automatic turn off or anything. The trigger, I've got it set for 1 to 100 meters rather than 0 to 30, and I can change that again at will. You come back, scroll across, get right back into that. The steps, that's going to tell me the minimum amount of power that I'll get on this, and then it tells me that I'm going to do it at 0.3 steps each time when I adjust the thing, rather than I can do it at one stop. I'm doing it at 0.3 stops. So then we go back. Oop, I didn't want to do that. There's what we go. And I come back here and get back to my settings. My zoom, I keep it at automatic or auto rather than trying to figure out. If I have time, if I want to shoot everything at 50 millimeters, I'll set the zoom for 50 millimeters. But I like to just usually let it figure it out. And so far, I've had no problems with it. The screen, the brightness, I keep it as bright as I can because I am very challenged to see the screens unless they're very, very bright. Then the rest of it, the language, of course, you'd set up the language you want. Mine happens to, my preference is English. We can reset the whole unit with that. But let's, so now let's just get back to where we're at. Right now I'm at A, and I've got it set for my light setting, which is what I had set at that event last week. But we can add more by just pushing that, and you can see I can add more groups like that. And but normally I'm just shooting on the A group, and I'll put all 3 of my lights. In fact, I don't do that many lighting settings anymore. Maybe with a portrait, I will use a couple or 3 lights, but I like to do most of my stuff, if possible, with ambient light and one maybe key light. So we just push this. Everything's turned off. Okay, I hope that little explanation was handy. I'm going to do more of those with products that I'm using as I add product to this R6 Mark II. Again, totally happy with this unit. To me, it's total pro. The only thing that I am definitely going to be forced to upgrade to is an L lens. These lenses that I'm using right now are fantastic for stills and portrait and a lot of the other stuff I do. But for video, they ain't cutting it. They're not fast enough. So I'll be getting another lens. We'll talk about that later on. And hopefully, I mean, I've already seen how much faster it is in these lenses I'm using. Right now I'm using the 50 1.8. Great lens. I'm getting better at you know, honing in my focusing skills with this camera, but I can tell you any issues with focusing with this camera are strictly a user created. This is so much better than the Fuji that I used. And I love Fuji. I shot it professionally for 7 years. It's not like I wanted to run away from them, but kind of glad I did. Anyway, I will see you hopefully in a few days after I shoot this event on Saturday and show you some of those things, and maybe pick up some more knowledge about things that work with this setup, lighting and such. So have a great week, and I will be looking forward to catching up with you. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps this channel. Right now I've got 5 subscribers. I only need about another 1,000. I'll be in good shape. And like it if you would. Thank you.